Hi friends, thank you very much for clicking ABC Learning English Solution. Friends, today on this video we are going to discuss one of the most important short story from the book First Flight, Letter to God. My dear friends, this story is included in CBSE class 10 syllabus. Friends, the writer is G.L.FUENTES. The pronunciation of this surname is Fuentes. My dear friends, G.L. is basically the abbreviation of Gregorio Lopez y Fuentes. My dear friends, this writer is a Mexican writer. He is a novelist, he is a poet, as well as he was one of the most important or most influential journalists in his time. So my dear friends, without wasting time, let's get started. Friends, the story starts with one of the most powerful proverb. Here you can see, they say faith can move mountains. My dear friends, if we have faith upon us, and if we have faith upon us, we can achieve our goal. This is the meaning of this proverb. My dear friends, in this story, we can see Lencho. He is the main character, or he is the hero. You can see he is the protagonist. He is a farmer, and he writes a letter to God, and he demanded 100 peso. My dear friends, peso is the currency of Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, these types of countries. The person Lencho wrote a letter to God. The question is that whether he is getting this money. That means, does Lencho's letter reach God, or does God send him money? This is the question. And if we go through the text properly, we will understand what is there in the story. So my dear friends, let's get started. Friends, at first you can see there is the description of a money order. This is the characteristics of CBSE. If they get any chance, they provide us such kind of information. That means from this part we know something about money order, how to do money order. This is the form, money order form. We have to fill it, and we have to pay such amount, and they will send it to the proper person whom do you want to send it. The story starts from this page. Friends, first of all, there is the description of the house. The story starts with this word, the house. The house means this is the house of Lencho. Lencho is the hero of this story, the only one in the entire valley. That means, my dear friends, his house is situated in a valley. Valley means, suppose these are the mountains, and between the flat land between two mountains, that is called valley. Suppose this is the valley, and in this place there is the house. In this place the house of Lencho is situated. So the house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. That means, suppose his house is here, and that is the crest. Crest means at the top. At the top of the hill, his house is situated. From this height, one could see the river. That means, as it is situated at the top of the hill, and from there you can see the river below. River is flowing, and from that height one could see the river below. This is the meaning. And the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. That means, from the top of the hill, one could see the river below, as well as the cornfield. The cornfield, and the corns are ripe. That means almost ready to harvest. That means the person is a farmer. He has cultivated corns, and these corns are almost ready to harvest. That means these are well grown crops. That means almost it is ready. Now what happens? The only thing the earth needed was a downpour. Friends, downpour means heavy shower, and or at least a shower. Shower means it's mild rain. Downpour means heavy rain. Shower means, you can say, mild rain. That means the crops were almost ready. Only they needed a downpour. That means a little bit rain was a little bit rain or a downpour was necessary for the crops to harvest. Before harvesting, Lencho needed a downpour or at least a shower. So it was necessary for the crops to be harvested. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately. Friends, intimately means closely. And Lencho was a farmer, an experienced farmer, and he knew his fields intimately, closely. That means he was closely associated with his field. That means Lencho was a dedicated farmer. My dear friends, this will be the perfect term for Lencho. Lencho was experienced as well as dedicated farmer. So, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. So, look at these lines, my dear friends. Lencho, throughout the morning, Lencho was doing nothing. He hadn't done anything in his field or in his house. Only he was watching the sky and he was looking at the northeast. Northeast, my dear friends, why northeast? Because northeast clouds bring rain. He was looking at the northeast sky because he was watching whether there is cloud or not. If if he could see cloud over there in the northeast sky, he might be sure that there will be the rain. That is why, as he was demanding rainfall, that is why he was watching at the sky. Now the next para. Now we are really going to get some water, Roman. Look, this is the speech of Lencho. Lencho is saying his wife that within some time there will be a downpour, there will be a rain. The woman who was preparing supper is the main meal at night, replied, yes, God willing. Look, this family has faith on God. That is why this lady, which is Lencho's wife, she's saying, yes, God willing. That means if God wills, there will be the rainfall. The elder boys were working in the field. While the smaller ones were playing near the house until the women called to them all, come for dinner. That means the elders were working in the field and the smaller children, they were playing in front of their courtyard, and they are playing there in front of their house or in their courtyard until the women called them all. So after that they were playing and the lady called them for dinner. It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, that means whenever they were having their meal, at that time big raindrops or the raindrops started. That means it started raining, and it was the prediction of Lencho. Lencho had predicted a rainfall, and whenever they were taking their meal, at that time it started. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds. Look, clouds, it's a big cloud, it's a huge cloud. That is why it is compared to the mountains here. So mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. So Lencho, obviously, by watching this scene, Lencho will be very happy. This is the fact, because it was very much necessary for his field. The air was fresh and sweet. This is the description of the atmosphere of that time. So the air was fresh because it started raining. The entire weather became very cool. It was sweet. It was favorable for the human being. That is why he is saying the air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling of the rain on his body. This line represent that the person was very much happy. Why he was very much happy? He was very much happy because it was very much urgent for his field, and he was so happy that he went outside and he went outside and enjoyed the rainfall on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed. When he returned means when he came inside his room or inside his house, then he exclaimed, these are not raindrops. Friends, think about the concept, think about the feeling of the farmers. He's saying these are not raindrops falling from the sky. So the drop of rains are not only the drop of water, they are new coins. That means after this rainfall, after these raindrops, he will have a good harvest, which will give him some money, some coins. That's why this raindrop is very much valuable for him, for his family. That's why he is saying these are not only the raindrops, these are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces, and the little ones are fives. Friends, think about the feeling. He is comparing the big drops of rain with 10 cent, and the little ones, that means the little drop, are 5. So these raindrops were very much important for him, and the raindrops are resemble to the coins to him. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flower draped in a curtain of rain. So it was raining hard. It was a heavy raining. So the entire field was covered with raindrops. That means it was sufficient. Whenever in the entire field is covered with raindrops, he is saying, satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. Draped means it is covered with. So the entire field is covered with downpour, covered with rainfall. That means it was sufficient for the land. It was sufficient for the field. Now, my dear friends, you can see the entire scenario is being changed. So before this moment, Lencho was before. So my dear friends, before this moment, Lencho was very much happy. He was satisfied with the rain. He was sure that there will be a good harvest and he will earn a sufficient money, sufficient pesos for his livelihood. But the entire scenario changed from here. That is why the adversative conjunction but is used here. But is very much important here. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow. So it started blowing a strong wind. And along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. My dear friends, very large hailstones, that means ice cubes. It was a hailstorm. That means the downpour, the heavy downpour converted into a hailstorms. That means the pieces of ice started to fall from the sky. And it is very much harmful. It is very much dangerous for irrigation. It is very much dangerous for the field. So these truly did resemble new silver coins, as it is almost white in color, or you can say silvery. So it is compared to the silver coins. That means these silver coins devastated. This silver coin ruined the crops. This silver coin ruined the way of livelihood of Lencho. So the boys exposing themselves to the rain. That means exposing themselves means they went out to enjoy the rainfall and ran out to collect the frozen pearls. So these silver coins are compared to the frozen pearls. My dear friends, look at the difference of feelings between two generations. So these silver coins are frozen pearls to the little boys, because they do not have any idea. They do not know the hard working of their parents. So it was enjoyable for them. Silver coins, they are collecting the frozen pearls, or they are collecting the ice cubes. These children are very much happy. It is the basic nature of the little boys or girls. They are very happy to collect the frozen pearls or the silver coins or the ice cubes. But Lencho is not happy to see these silver coins, to see these ice cubes. And it is very much harmful for his field. It is known to Lencho. Maybe the boys are enjoying, but these situations disturbs Lencho. It is enjoyable for the children, but it is the saddest moment of Lencho, because Lencho knows that his field, his ripe corns will be ruined after this hailstorm. So think about the mentality between two generations here. As you know, Lencho is very much experienced. He's saying, "It's really getting bad now," exclaimed the man. That means it is going to be bad for his field. I hope it passes quickly. So it was his great desire at that moment that this rainfall stop within a moment. Otherwise, he will be starved throughout the year. He will not get any crops from his field. But the situation did not change. It did not pass quickly. That means it was raining with, but the hailstorm did not stop. It did not pass quickly. That means it did not stop. The hailstorm did not stop. For an hour, the hail rained on the house. So it went on for 1 hour. It continued for 1 hour. The 1 hour hailstorm can devastate the entire area. So the field, you can understand, the field is ruined. The ripe corn, it is ruined. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, and the cornfield, on the whole valley. That means the entire area, it did not stop. It continued for 1 hour. So it continued all the places of that area, of that entire valley. It continued for 1 hour. The field was white. You can see the field was white. That means it is covered with ice cubes. The entire field is covered with ice cubes, as if covered with salt. From a long distance, you can think that it is covered with salt. Here, the white ice cubes are compared to salt. And you know, these ice cubes, it is also harmful for the field, and salt, it is also harmful for the field. Not a leaf remained on the tree. That means the entire field, all the trees remained leafless. There were no leaves on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. So what will happen? The corn was totally destroyed. That means the entire field is devastated. You can say it is ransacked. The flowers were gone from the plants. So flowers as well as the ripe corns, all these are gone with the leaves. Only the branches, or the you can say the twigs of the plants remain there. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. So Lencho knows the situation. That means the entire field is devastated. It means they will have to be starved throughout the year. They will not be able to have their food. So Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. So to see the entire field, Lencho was very sad. Why he was sad? My dear friends, Lencho was a farmer, and you know, the crops, the harvested crops, are very much important for the farmers. These crops give them food throughout the year. Not only that, in the next year or in the next season, the farmer has to reap his corn. That means the harvest, if he gets a good harvest, from there he will fulfill his demand, as well as he will keep some of the crops for seeds to use in the next year. So Lencho knows that the next year it will be very much tough for him as well as his family, because they will have to be starved. Not only that, he will not be able to reap his reap the crops again. So it was very much sad thing for Lencho. When the storm had passed, that means whenever everything was normal, the storm stopped or ceased, he stood in the middle of the field. Look at this. He went to the field and stood there in the middle of the field and said to his sons, a plague of locusts would have left more than these. Friends, a plague of locust. Locust is one kind of insects, and always they live in the group. Group means a large group. That is why these collective noun. Plague is used for locust. They live in a huge group, and whenever they attack the fields, the fields, you can say, they eat up all the corns, they devastate the entire area, the entire field. And it is basically, these come from the locust. They come from Africa. Sometimes it attacks different regions. Before 2 or 3 years, the plague of locust attacked Punjab, and they suffered a lot for this. So, my dear friends, the farmer is saying, Lencho is saying, a plague of locust would have left more than this. So, after the attacking of locusts, they left something, but these rainfall devastated the entire field. The locusts sometimes leave some of the plants. That means some of the crops are alive after the attack of, some of the crops are left after the attack of locusts. But this hailstorm has devastated everything. Not a single piece of corn was left. Everything was ruined. The hail has left nothing. That means due to this hailstorm, everything has been ruined. What is the conclusion of this farmer? He's saying this year we will have no corn. That means they will have no corn. No corn refers no food. That night was a sorrowful one. So that night means on that night, when the rainfall or when the hailstorm took place. So it was the sorrowful night for them. What is he saying? All our work for nothing. That means, think about this line, all our work for nothing. My dear friends, cultivation is a seasonal process, and in the field the farmer works hard to grow plants. Suppose 3 or 4 months they are working hard in the field to grow crops, and within 1 hour everything is destroyed. What is destroyed? The entire field, the entire crops. Not only that, think about it, not only the field is destroyed, but also the hope for the next year, seeds for the next year, food for the next year, everything is lost. So he is saying whatever he has done throughout the season, everything is lost. That means all his works is useless. It becomes zero. There is no one who can help us. So he was in a great situation. He was in a tough situation. He is saying there was no one who can help us. You have seen in that particular hill, there is only one house. That means he was only one inhabitant of that area. So there was no one who could help him. We will all go hungry this year. So throughout the year, they will have to be hungry, because they will have to be starved, because there will be no food for them. My dear friends, I think you can understand the situation, in what situation the farmer is in right now. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope: help from God. That means there was no one who could help them. It was clear. But the hearts of all means each and every one of this family have faith on God. And that is why the house is, that solitary house means the lonely house. There is no such house. There is only one house on that top of the hill, and situated in the middle of the valley. There was a single hope, only single hope, that is help from God. So think about the family. The family was entirely, so the entire family had faith upon God. So only one hope which was still present, that was help from God. Only God could save them. There was no one who could save them. They knew it clearly. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. The writer is saying not to be upset after this great loss. No need to be upset. Even though this seems like a total loss. Obviously it's a total loss for the farmers, because the entire crop was ruined. So remember, no one dies of hunger. No one dies of hunger. The writer is saying no one dies of hunger. That means the person will not die for starvation, because they will get food. They will not be starved, because the writer here the writer is saying, I think the writer is also having faith on God. That's why he is saying that obviously the God will help him, because no one dies of hunger. That means God, there is, my dear friends, you know the terms, who has given this life, he or she will think about us. That means God has given us these lives, so it is the duty of the God to provide us food. That is why it is basically the belief of the persons. So here, that is why they are saying no one dies of hunger. That means God will provide them food. That's what they say, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say, no one dies of hunger. That means God helps everyone to collect their food. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his own hope, the help of God. That means the entire night, Lencho was awakened. That means he was sleepless. He spent a sleepless night. Only he was thinking about his only one hope, that is the help of the God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. So it is the belief of the human being. If the human being is having any faith upon God, they believe that the God can see whatever is happening and what the person is thinking. Conscience, my dear friends, it means the inner feeling of a person. Whatever the person is thinking, the God can understand. It is the belief. Lencho was an ox of a man. Friends, one of the very most important line. Lencho was an ox of a man. Lencho was a person, but here the writer is saying an ox. Friends, it's basically a metaphor. You know, these are the literal devices which are used in this. Different types of literal devices are used. It is metaphor. Friends, ox, yeah, if you see an ox, the ox can work very hard. So throughout the day, throughout the season, throughout the year, this person works hard. That's why the writer is saying Lencho an ox. Friends, I think you understand this meaning. Lencho was an ox of a man working like an animal in this field. So throughout the field, so my dear friends, in the field he works hard like an animal. But still he knew how to write. So the person was not illiterate. He knew how to write. That means throughout the day he works in the field. He is dedicated to his field, even though he could write down or he could know how to write. The following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. So he started writing a letter. The next Sunday at daybreak, whenever he came back home from his work, he started writing. He began to write a letter which he himself would carry, and he decided that he would carry it to the post office, or he himself will go to the post office and send it to God. It was nothing else than a letter to God. So whatever he is writing, what was he writing? He was writing a letter to God. Friends, you have seen the name of the story is a letter to God. So this is the letter. Lencho is writing this letter and he wants to send it to God. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, God, he wrote. So look, what is he writing? He is writing, God, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. He is writing to God that God should help him, and if God doesn't help him, throughout the year his family will be hungry. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes. Think about think about the demand of this person. It is not huge demand. He is not going to demand to God that I need 1 crore pesos, like that. He only needs 100 pesos. Pesos, my dear friends, he only needs 100 pesos. Friends, pesos are currency of Mexico, Argentina. And the writer is also a Mexican writer. That is why he has written this term pesos. So he demanded only 100 pesos, and within these 100 pesos, he will buy something for his family, and apart he will buy some seeds, and these seeds are very much important for the farmers. Not only they have this food, but also they produce crops from this part. They produce crops in the for the next year. They keep it aside for the next year, and they sow it again. They reap these seeds in their field. That is why he is saying, God, please send me 100 pesos, and I will buy some seeds as well as some food for my family. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again, and to live until the crop comes. The crop comes means in the next year he will be able to get crops from his fields, and for that he needs this money. And what is the reason behind it? Because the hailstorm. That means the hailstorm has devastated his land, so he has nothing to he has nothing left, so he will have to maintain his family for the next year. So he demanded 100 pesos from God. He wrote to God on the envelope. So think about it. He wrote down the entire context, and at the top of the envelope he wrote to God, just like this. There was no detailed address. To God on the envelope. Put the letter inside. He put the letter inside the envelope, and still traveled inside, and still traveled. He was also, obviously, he was in a great, and obviously his entire crops is devastated, so the entire situation was really troublesome for him. He was troubled. He went to town. At the post office he placed a stamp. So in post office, if we want to send any letter to anywhere, we have to purchase postal stamps, and we have to place it on the top of the envelope. It is the system. So he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. So in the mailbox or in the letter box, he just put it into. One of the employees who was a postman and also helped at the post office went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him to the letter to God. So the postal employees collected it from the mailbox, and he was surprised, and it resembles joking to him, because it was written to God only as the address. So he took it to the postmaster, that means the head of the post office, and showed him the letter to God. Showed the postmaster the letter. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. So the postman, he was experienced, aged. He has never seen in his career such kind of address. The postmaster, a fat, amiable means, friends, my dear friends, it is very good person, friendly and pleasant. You can see the meaning here. That means the person was very good, very good natured person. The postmaster, it is the description of this postmaster. He is fat and amiable fellow. Also broke out laughing. He was also laughing to see the address, but almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk commented, "What faith!" So he was laughing. Obviously he was laughing, but he was very much serious at the same time. He was tapping the letter, and he commented, or he was thinking, what a faith. That means the person obviously the person has a great faith on God. He is sending a letter. I wish I had the faith for the man who wrote this letter. And the postmaster is saying, I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter. So Lencho wrote this letter. Rencho had great faith on God, and the person, the postmaster, is saying, I wish I had this kind of faith on God. That means the postmaster didn't have such kind of faith on God. That is why he wished. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, so look at the activity, look at the behavior of this person, this amiable fat person, the postman. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, so it is clear that Lencho had faith on God, and the postmaster did not want that his faith on God that should be demolished, that should be broken. The postmaster understood that this person has great faith in God, and he did not want that this person will lose faith on God. That's why he made up a plan. What he prepared, what he thought, we have to go through right now. The postmaster came up with an idea. So he thought of an idea. Answer the letter. He thought that he will answer the letter. As the person, Lencho, who has great faith in God, it remains the same. That's why he decided to answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it, he needed something more than goodwill. So person was very much so he decided. So the postmaster decided to answer the letter. So he opened it. So opened the envelope and started going through it. What happened? But when he opened it, it was evident means clear, that to answer it, it needed something more than goodwill. That means the only goodwill was not sufficient to answer this person. What did he need? He needs some money. He needs 100 pesos. So look at this. So goodwill, ink and paper. That means he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper. That means he thought that he will write down a letter. He will go through the letter and write down the answer to Lencho. That will be, as he was a good person, so he thought it. But whenever he opened it, he went through the letter, he realized that only goodwill, paper and ink, these are not sufficient for answering this letter. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. But the person was very good, and he has decided that he will send this letter, he will answer this person. That is why he did not broke his resolution. He demanded money from his employees. So in the post office, you can see some of the employees are there, including the postmaster, and this amiable fat person was the postmaster, and he demanded money because 100 pesos was not a sort of money that anyone can give it to the others. They are also very poor, not so rich. That's why he tried to collect it from the employees. He himself gave a part of his salary. Think about it, 100 pesos. To collect 100 pesos, he had to give a part of his salary. And several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. And he demanded from his friends to do this charity. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos. So 100 pesos was not a small amount. It was a big amount for them. That is why he collected from his friends, from his employees, and it was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos. So he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. Think about it. So the person had tried a lot, even though they were not successful to collect 100 pesos. So he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. That means half means 50, and more than 50. That means more than 50. He was able to collect more than 50. That means he was unable to collect 100 pesos. So he put the money in an envelope. Actually, they collected 70. In the next part, we'll see this. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. That means he sent 70 pesos to Lencho's address, and there was a signature. That means it was only single word was there in the letter, that is the signature, and that is God. So he sent it to Lencho. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. So, in the next Sunday, he came to the post office and asked whether he was having any letter or not. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. So it was the postman himself who handed the letter to him. So the postman handed the letter to Lencho, and the postmaster experiencing that means the postmaster was watching from his desk, and he was satisfied, he was contented, because he has done a good job, good thing. So experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. So he has done a good job, and from his office he was watching that the postman is handing the letter over Lencho. So Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. Look, the person was not shocked to see the money inside the envelope. He was not surprised at all, because he had a strong belief that God will send him money. That is why he was sure that God will send him money. He was confident upon the activity of God. But he became angry when he counted the money. So he started counting. After getting this money, he started counting, and he was very much angry. God could not have made a mistake, and it is his belief. God could not have made a mistake. God can never make any mistake. It is his strong belief. Nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. So think about the degree of belief of this person to the God. He knew that God will send him the money. That is why he was not surprised. Second thing, the God can never make any mistake. Actually, there was 70 pesos inside the envelope, and nor could he have denied Lencho who had what he had requested. And he was sure that God will send him money. He will not deny it to Lencho. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. So he was very much angry to see 70 pesos inside it. So he went to the corner window and asked for paper or ink. On the public writing table, he started to write. That means again he is writing a letter to God. With much wrinkling of his brow. The wrinkling of his brow means he was very much angry. He was very much dissatisfied with the postal staff. That is why his eyebrows were wrinkled in anger, not for other reason. He was very much angry upon the postal staff, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas and obviously for creating the ideas, or for finding out the words to express his feeling. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp. That means after completing the letter, he went to the post office. He went to the postal window and bought a stamp from there, which he leaked. That means he leaked the stamp on his tongue, and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. That means by using his fist, by using his palms, he fitted it on the envelope. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. Whenever the person is writing down another letter, the postmaster was very much curious to know what he is writing there on this second letter. So whenever he dropped it, the postmaster went there, opened it, and collected it and opened it. It said, "God, of the money that I asked for." That means he is writing a letter to God, and he is saying, "God, you have of the money that I asked for." That means of the money means 100 pesos that Lencho asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. That means he has got only 70 pesos. Send me the rest. And he is demanding to send him the rest of 30 pesos, since I need it very much. He needs it very much. That means throughout for the next season, he is in a great need of 100 pesos, and he has got only 70. Since I need it very much, but don't send it to me through the mail. Now he is saying, do not send it through the mail. That means through the post office. Think about the faith in God of this person, Lencho. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. then this is the signature of Lencho. So the post office employees are bunch of crooks, means notorious person. They are the crooks. They are the not good person. They are not bad. They are very bad person. They are criminals, you can say, because he is thinking that 30 rupees has been stolen by the postal employees. That is why he is requesting God not to send this money through the mail. Friends, it is the belief of that person, Lencho. Lencho was quite sure that God has sent him 100 rupees, and these postal employees have stolen 30 pesos from it, and they have given 70 pesos to Lencho. Friends, this is all about the story. But here, if you think about the character of the postmaster or the postal employees, friends, you can see this is the outcome of the good persons. I think the postmaster or the postal employees, those who have collected 70 pesos for Lencho, they will not be very angry to see the second letter written by Lencho, because they are helpful, they are amiable person, they are very good person. So obviously they will forgive Lencho, that it is the basic nature of the normal human being. But the postmaster, he is not a normal human being. He was very much helpful. So he has helped this person, and he has done his duty properly as a human being. So my dear friends, I think you can understand it. Friends, this was all about the story. I think you could understand the meaning. If you like it, I'd like to request you to write down in the comments box how you enjoyed it. And if you think it was good, you can comment me. I can make videos of question answer or the stories and poems as well. So my dear friends, thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.